This episode is dedicated to my fiance. Happy Valentine's Day, honey. Good morning. It is not February 14th. But I wanted to recap what I did on the 14th. So I started my day right here at this corner. The tree, I don't know where it is, right there, I think. That's the branch. So I started my day bird watching. And then I met up with my friends, Ryan and Johanna. This is my friend Ryan. She's a production designer. And then we walked to Deeply, the coffee shop, like right around the lake. And there I worked on this new typography, which might be the new logo for the film. We'll see about that. And then I took what is currently an empty still of the film. This is supposed to be like a storybook opening where there's like the name of the story and there will be some opening description, and then there's supposed to be an image, an all-encompassing image there. So what I did was I printed this out, and then I grabbed some tracing paper and I sketched out, if I can align it perfectly, part of what goes there. So that's basically all that I did on the 14th. It was Valentine's Day. But I think it was pretty... Oh! And then I took these, which is the background that we were working on. And at some point in the sequence, I'm like playing around with them. At some point in the sequence, some started to die out and they black out. But I realized that it was harder to keep track of which ones I was blacking out. So, didn't really work the way I wanted to. But if you want to play if you want to play a game of Spot the Difference, there you go. Okay, so what we're actually doing today is shifting back to this sequence from the film, the Orinoco portion of the film. I'm going to scan this. I'm going to bring it into Final Cut. I want it to look like it was like kind of painted, but also sketched out. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take one of the... I'm going to take a transparency and paint over this kind of roughly. And then put it all together, and hopefully the last thing we'll have to do is create the text for this, but that will probably be tomorrow or Wednesday, one of those 2 days. We'll see about that. Okay, I just wanted to show you a little bit of the process. So this is my printer corner. I have two printers, affectionately nicknamed Ermintrout 1, Ermintrout 2. This has been with me since my college apartment that I shared with my friends Carlos and Alessandro. Ermintrout 1 only prints black and white, but it has a flatbed scanner, which is useful. The main reason I still use this, aside from like personal printing. And then I bought Brother 2 for the film. Not Brother 2, Ermintrout 2. Specifically because I wanted to print it in color, and you'll see it a lot in the film. But I bought the wrong model for the color printer, and it doesn't have a flatbed scanner, which really sucked. So now I have two. As always, this one needs a little bit of some maintenance. I left some paint there that I have to clean up. I'm always abusing this board printer. Okay, I'm gonna put this to scan, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's where we're at. So this is it. This is the painting. This is what it's hopefully gonna look like underneath the sketch. And I'm really happy with particular with the paint effect on the sun. Hopefully you can focus on the sun. That kind of like swirliness really makes me happy. It kind of feels like the sun. So I'm actually gonna scan this 2 times. I'm gonna scan it once normally with the printer with the normal printer background, which usually is white. But I'm also gonna scan it with a black background because there's a lot of white in this, and I don't want the white on white to make it lose some details. So let's see which one comes out best. Okay, so I already brought in our 3 scans. So this is how the transparency on black looks, and this is how white on white looks, which is why I wanted to do the transparency on black. So let's start with bringing this and doing what we always do, which is trying to find the right transparency setting to play with. It should be one of these. I think multiply looks the best. And then bring this one in and do the same thing. Want to make sure that black gets deleted. If none of these work, we are gonna try just luma keying them, which might be for the best. Luma key might just get rid of it as a whole. But we're having trouble here with the sun, which is very frustrating. Because if we bring this one in, and we get a mask that just takes those yellows in, and those oranges, we can try to, let me fix that mask real quick. We can just separate them for whichever gives us the best results. No, that's the mask. Bring it in a little bit closer, like so. And then we'll do the opposite for this one. We'll draw another mask, but we'll draw around the parts that we actually want to keep, which might make that separation a little bit easier for what we want it to accomplish. Still, none of these look really. I think overlay looks the nicest, but it also creates a lot of those shadows. None of them are doing what we want them to do. That kind of looks sick. Okay, so this is in a better place now than it was at the beginning. I like it. I might have to bring it into Photoshop and mess with it a little bit. So this is from concept to almost finished execution. We're almost there. We just have to do a little bit more work for this, but I'm really loving the way it's looking right now, and I'm really happy with the results so far. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of What is Sebas Working On Today. I will leave you guys with one final note. As you can tell, my way of working is not exactly like methodical and precise. And part of this experiment, which is these YouTube videos, is just showing exactly that and figuring out my methods and having documentation of my methods. There's not a science to my methods. This whole film has kind of been constructed on a lot of whims, a lot of feelings, and trying to figure out what's the best way to do something. And a lot of it is trial and error, as you saw when I was on Final Cut, the way I click things until something works. It's all part of the journey, and I'm very happy that you have all become part of this journey with me, or you keep following along. With that being said, I'll leave you all with that note and with an announcement, which is Retrospection of a Home, Once Upon a Time, my third short film, will be uploaded and be released publicly on February 20th of 2025, which I'm really, really excited about. It's a film I'm very proud of, and where it has taken me so far. It premiered technically at the Cannes Film Festival. No, that's not true. It premiered at my UCF film capstone screening back in May of 2022, as I was about to graduate from my undergrad, and from there it's played a lot of places, from Venezuela to Miami, in the Sunpass Film Festival, the Miami Film Festival, Third Horizon, and it's a film I'm extremely proud of. So I'm happy that I'm finally able to share the whole thing publicly. So yeah, be on the lookout for that on February 20th. I'll see you then. Thank you.